got a secret underneath. Yeah, she's this naughty little freak. She likes to put on a show. She likes when he takes control. Yeah, he gon' make her legs shake. They gon' make the bed break. They gon' get into some trouble. Little danger they both crave when they put on a show. She likes when he takes control. And she a little baddie with a natty little figure. She gon' call him daddy when he's hitting all the triggers. She know how to move when she loose off the liquor. What a view tattoo, she a mood, she a giver. She know how to lay it down, get a little freaky. She don't like just anybody, but with him she's easy. He know how to give her what she wants, what she's needing. He know how to hit the right spots when he's leading. He on the attack, got her eyes rolling back when he lifting her, flipping her, tighten the stress when he's training his baby. Cause she been a brat, heavy breathing and clawing. He love the feedback, yeah. And they like to get nasty, whether in the bedroom or the backseat. Like a drug, they be hooked, need it badly. She's got a secret underneath. Yeah, she's this naughty little freak. She likes to put on a show. She likes when he takes control. Yeah, he gon' make her legs shake. They gon' make the bed break. They gon' get into some trouble. Little danger they both crave when they put on a show. She likes when he takes control. Got dark eyes and a dark mind. She been up to no good as a part-time. She got a unique look in the starlight. She could drain her bank account if she played her cards right. But she only got eyes for him. Yeah, he's a lucky man cause she a dime at 10. She know how to keep him coming back time again. Cause she a loyal little freak, it's hard to find them. She know how to drop low with it, to the flow with it. She been taking classes on the pole with it. I just like when she puts on a show with this. So go slow with it, yeah, go slow with it. She got tricks that you've never seen. Good God, body fixed in my memory. She been doing things that should be a felony. She's got a secret underneath. Yeah, she's this naughty little freak. She likes to put on a show. She likes when he takes control. Yeah, he gon' make her legs shake. They gon' make the bed break. They gon' get into some trouble. Little danger they both crave when they put on a show. She likes when he takes control.
Sometimes we're looking for the more, but we just don't know what the more is. And then we come to play with me. 3 words, like me, play, toys, fun, games, cheekiness, with, intimacy, connection, relationships, and finally me. It starts with self, and that is something that Play With Me stands for. Play With Me is a place where you have an experience of all of those things. One complete cycle. You're welcome to pop in at our shop at the Gantry in Fourways, or find us at www.playwithme.co.za. If you're looking for that more, please get in touch.
And she likes nice cars, late nights, tattoos, long flights, new shoes, old Nikes, new clothes, new sights, good love, good drugs, good drinks, good times. She lives, she loves, she fucks, and she likes when the bass so loud, when the place sold out. In the dark, lay it down. In the light, wear a crown. She gon' tear it up now. She gon' tear it up now. 2 a.m. she gon' bang, send it when the lights out. Little baddie with a face like that, I'm a natty, gotta have it when she play like that. Call me daddy and I crave that cat. Little bratty with a natty, she don't play, she bad, oh. And I just want it all for me. Lock her down fast, go fall for me. Cause I'm giving you all you need. Anything you want, baby, call for me. Never felt like this before. She got a look you can't ignore, and got a taste most can't afford. Yeah, she'll leave you wanting more. And she likes nice cars, late nights, tattoos, long flights, new shoes, old Nikes, new clothes, new sights. Good love, good drugs, good drinks, good times. She lives, she loves, she fucks, and she likes when the bass so loud, when the place sold out. In the dark, lay it down. In the light, wear a crown. She gon' tear it up now. She gon' tear it up now. 2 a.m. she gon' bang, send it when the lights out. With a face like that, I'm a natty, gotta have it when she play like that. Call me daddy and I crave like that. Little bratty with a natty, she don't play, she's bad, oh. And I just want it all for me. Lock her down fast, go fall for me. Cause I'm giving you all you need. Anything you want, baby, call for me.
Good day, I'm Jean-Marie van Graan, also known as Lola Blakely, and I'm thrilled to introduce to you Lotus Love, your ultimate destination in relationship, intimacy and wellness coaching. As a wellness, relationship and intimacy associated counselor, I'm passionate about helping individuals and couples navigate the complexities of modern relationships. Through personalized coaching sessions, I empower my clients to embrace love, intimacy, and connections in all its forms. Whether you're exploring ethical non-monogamy, navigating post-divorce life, or preparing for the dating scene, I'm here to support you. My coaching approach is holistic, compassionate, and tailored to your unique needs and goals. Together, we'll uncover your strengths, address the challenges, and create a path towards a more fulfilling and meaningful life. Ready to embark on a journey of self-discovery and transformation? Book a consultation with me today, and let Lotus Love be your guide to fulfillment in relationship and life. Your path to a happier, healthier, more fulfilling life and relationship can start with me here today.
The views and opinions expressed in this program are those of the speakers and do not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent or that of the program, its presenters, hosts, directors, or other team members.
This show is intended for audiences aged 23 and older. This production and its digital copies contain content of an adult nature. If you are easily offended or are under the age of 18, this show is not intended for you. The posts, pages, and recordings within are intended for adults only and may include descriptions of scenes of sexual content, suggestive opinions, detailed discussions, and graphic topics. Listener discretion is advised.
Come cuff up and get comfortable while we unclothe the magic of fantasy and desire. Tie in with us and learn how to earn your key to getting kinky. You're welcome. Spank us later, because tonight's class is about to begin.
Good evening, lustfuls. Hope all of you are cuffed up or tied up, because we're about to start with the third episode in season 2 of Kinky Classes. Tonight's episode is called Red Room Raunchiness, and we'll be discussing the design of your playroom. Let me start off by, as usual, mentioning our association endorsement site, Z-Nights. The Z-Nights website has combined socials, events, parties, and workshops for all walks of life and like-minded individuals. Z-Nights is a quality South African community of unique, fun, uninhibited people who enjoy life to the fullest, who are into casual dating, social networking, open relationships, or alternative lifestyles. With an extensive amount of social platforms for us adults to connect on, Z-Nights makes finding these quality connections easy, affordable, and accessible. If you'd like to join the Z-Nights community, head on over to www.znights.com to explore countless possibilities. Then, of course, our endorsement site, the COF, Lola's favorite friends at the Council of Fantasy. The Council of Fantasy is a lifestyle-oriented community catering for BDSM, lifestylers, and everybody that's somewhere in between. If you want to learn more about sex positivity, body positivity, mind positivity, how to incorporate kink in your relationship, come and join us at the COF. The COF is an all-inclusive community, and the only shame we shame are the shamers themselves. Shame on you. Shame. Also shame, sis. One of the main focuses of the COF is education, and not just in BDSM, but in sex positivity, mind and body positivity, as well as those swinging lifestylers. You guys can find us at www.counciloffantasy.co.za or visit Lola's website. That's www.lelustfm.live. Yes, Lelovelies, that's with a double lelal, yes. Find the link to the WhatsApp community right at the bottom of the screen. There's a little WhatsApp icon. Click on it and come and join the WhatsApp group chat. Your Lola Blakely production moderators for this evening. Oh, production moderator. Oh, we've got one again, only one, because the whole production team is sick. I'm just letting everybody know. Is Axel. Good evening, Axel, and thank you for joining us. Then our production manager Medusa is back cracking the whip this evening. She took a little bit of a dive last night because this is Africa, TIA, and they stole stuff in the streets which left her powerless. I mean, the whip cracking Medusa was powerless. Can we just? So if you guys see them in the chat, say hi. They're here to engage with our listeners, keep us safe during the airing. Feel free to ask them questions, send them a wave, send them a donut. Just careful for Medusa. That one is whip cracking, I'm telling you. And now it's time for a very warm welcome from Joburg to my talented co-host, Miss Red Baronista. Hello, madam. How are you? How are you doing this evening?
Hello, my darling. Hello, my darling. Well, it's been a week. All I can say is I have so many personalities and charisma. Pick one.
For those of you who are new this season, in the second season, Baronista is a professional dominatrix. She retired from the scene. She's currently only doing workshops, and those who happen to meet the standards required by this domino, she'll do private sessions. Okay. Baronista is not only a lifestyle domino, but also a certified life coach like Lola, woo! With a diploma in mental health that Lola does not have. Red Baroness is her burlesque persona. She's the first South African to win an international crown in 2022. Red Baroness went on to be the first South African to headline an international burlesque show in 2023. She's paved the way for all South African burlesque artists to follow and achieve more. I mean, what a co-host. I'm so lucky.
Thank you, darling.
I'm so
honored.
lucky.
I'm so honored and always humbled to be alongside somebody like you. I love you.
Oh, you make me melt. Ladies and gentlemen, it doesn't stop. The wildness of this evening doesn't stop there, of course.
Yes.
It's time to introduce our guest this evening, and we're honored to have her here with us on the show tonight. I mean, I heard about her from our friend Bev at Z-Night, and Bev couldn't stop ranting and raging about this lady. And then when I went to go and check out their websites, I was like, wow, gotta have the Nita. Gotta have the Nita. Nita is a sexuality coach and counselor. She runs CasaKink down in Cape Town. CasaKink hosts weekly educational, social and play nights on a Thursday and monthly play parties. You guys can rent out both the dungeon and smaller downstairs mini dungeon for private use or to host your own events. Nita also hosted over 160 community learning, social and play events for the kink community. She's passionate about sexual and body positivity and most of all, building villages of support. Good evening, Nita, and welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Hello, Nita.
Thank you very much for having me.
So you designed your dungeon, right? I mean, you designed your play space. So that's why we've got you on air with us this evening. Tell us a little bit about the process. Where did you start? How did you start CasaKink? And tell us a little bit more about it.
To talk about the starts of the originals of CasaKink would need to talk about a whole lot more burley dancers. But it was an exquisite burley dancer that named CasaKink. It kind of happened. We were due to go to a party, and for various reasons, the host couldn't host it anymore. And we were like, well, we've got a house. We can do this. And that's how it started. But it was a very slippery slope, as all things are when you enter the sex positive space. And so we started hosting very frequent events up until just before COVID. And then obviously took some time out. But as we came out of that, what was very apparent is firstly, the scene is so much bigger than it was pre-COVID. It literally exploded. Lock humans down and they will want to fuck.
We love it.
And we were no different. We were like, the kids are in the house all the time. You can't get away from them. You can't have sex. You definitely can't have kinky sex because it's noisy. And we were in the very privileged position to have a downstairs room off of our house. And we were like, this is going to be our sex room. And I mean, obviously, when you've been hosting parties for that long and that many of them, you encounter a lot of really good ideas along the way. Every person has thought of something you've never thought of. And so we realized very quickly that actually we could do this sex room and also actually rent it out like an Airbnb. And so that gave us a little more flexibility in terms of how much we could invest into it. And I can tell you that wasn't a bad investment. People still want to fuck and don't have places to go. And so we came into it from what are other people going to want and what do we want out of it? And those are not the same thing. My husband and I can't even always agree on what it is we want. But probably the best design assistant is Pinterest. And you would think, what does Pinterest know about kink rooms?
A lot.
Yes.
More than you can imagine.
Really? I'm shocked. I'm opening an account at Pinterest right now.
Google is not always it.
Pinterest just pulls things together in different ways and also does lots of how-to stuff. And so, for example, we saw the bed we wanted, and I think a lot of people have seen this bed. It's the 4-poster. It has the cage underneath. Yes, there we go. We've all seen it. And it's, if it's really good, it's got the pillory in the end of it, so that it's really multi-purpose with lots of tie-down. So we knew exactly what we wanted. But
it definitely hosts for everybody.
Yes. But the space we had was tiny, and so creating that couldn't be done in the space we designed. And it was like, wait. And we ended up going away. The thing weighs 10 times more than the wooden version would have, but it feels like it doesn't take up as much space, and it's built with industrial pipes.
Wow.
Galvanized industrial pipes. So that creates a kind of vibe. Anyway, it's been a huge success. We have a lot of very regular users, and then the curious who wander through and then come back normally at some point.
Yeah, the curious and then the curiouser and curiouser and curiouser.
Sure. I mean, we have literally had bookings through Airbnb. Really.
Wow.
Yeah.
I mean...
So on the back of the success of that, and also us getting back into the scene and realizing renting venues is an incredibly expensive way of running events. And so, again, fortune, privilege to be in a position to have been able to take up 300 square meters of industrial space, and soften it and harden it in different ways. And so that's been a much bigger fun experience of setting a space up.
Wow. I mean, Red, you've seen the space. You've been there.
Quite a few times, and it's an incredible space. It accommodates for so many different play scenarios, so many different aspects of people who are in the lifestyle, and those who are new to it. It is not intimidating. It's incredibly friendly and very inviting, and it's non-invasive, and it's a very safe space. And you know me, Lola, I always keep going back to safe. But CasaKink is really a very, very safe space in Cape Town, and I'm very honored to have been able to visit and be a part of a number of events that have been there. And I can definitely vouch, that what is being done there is an incredible place for beginners. If you're trying something out new for the first time, you're not too sure how to go about doing things. And I know the bed that you're talking about. I haven't been on it. I don't do the, me. I stand from afar. I inflict and I
put other people on it.
I do things. I don't. I do two, not done to me. But it is, and especially for our new listeners who are exploring this wonderful world of kink and coming into it for the first time, I'm going to say to you, go to a CasaKink party, go to a CasaKink. You can look it up on FetLife, and there's a number of places that you can find their events. They're quite central, in and around the Milnerton, Bloberg area. So it's quite central to most Cape Townians. And if you're exploring things for the first time, go. The staff that are there are incredibly insightful, helpful, friendly, and there's no judgment, and nobody's going to go like, oh my goodness, So I do. No, they're not. They're really not. You're going to be met. Yeah, you're going to be met with open arms. You're going to be introduced to like, oh, what is this? Like, No, it's going to be just okay. And you're going to be in very knowledgeable and very safe hands. It's a great place to be.
Listen, I'm booking a ticket. I'm coming to visit Cape Town. I'm sold.
I know a great place you can stay. You know,
I mean, Lola being hooked the fuck up.
I actually want to say, I think one of the things for me that's been most special about being able to set up the dungeon has been able to provide a space for other event hosts. So, for example, Red's been very involved with Elite, and they are now hosting, for now, all their events at CasaKink. And that, you know, that level of support from other hosts helps us to keep going. But it also means CasaKink doesn't fit one style.
Yes, I love
One of our
that.
venues, one of our hosts is Cape Town Jacks. And if you've never heard of Cape Town Jacks, it's a jack-off club for people who identify as men. And let me tell you,
I wonder why.
Am I hearing? Is it what I think it is?
yes,
You're hearing it.
Oh my gosh, this is
can you
amazing.
imagine how difficult it is when that's the party you want to host to find somewhere that will let you do it? And so it's that sort of thing that really just warms my heart completely.
Wow, that's so cool. I mean, this is opening a whole nother world. So I know about Elite because Red actually introduced me to them as well. They're also going to be guest starring on one of my lifestyle lectureship or one of the other shows that I host. So that's a great thing for me to hear because I mean, if you're catering for the swingers, okay, and you're catering for the BDSM guys, this is absolutely amazing. So you're basically doing what we're doing with CIF down in Cape Town. That's absolutely amazing. That's fantastic. I love this. Thank you for giving everybody a safe space. Yes, Red.
You know, it's not just about, you say you create a dungeon, and I think for a lot of our new listeners who are listening, they think of a dungeon and it's like, you know, whips, chains, galores, and tie me up in bondage, and, you know, that whole stereotype. But one of the things that you will encounter at CasaKink is, yes, there is that space and that element for those who want to explore it, those who are into it, but there are also very, very private spaces that couples can go to. It doesn't have to necessarily be a BDSM fetish thing. It doesn't have to involve all that. It can just be a space to just go and just, you know what, have something romantic, something different, something that, you know, okay, you know what, you got a house full of kids and you got teenagers and you know what? Oh boy.
Yeah, can we just
Started.
can we just get our freak on?
Yeah, can we, you know what, we just want to go out and, you know, go and have a drink, go and have a lunch, and you know what, we just want to get it on. But we, you know, we've got the teenagers at home, they're home studying or they're coming home from school, whatever. And I have found that CasaKink provides that too, without it being this whole stereotype, oh, we're entering a sex dungeon now, you know. It's more than that. There is that available, but there is also this very private space to just go and be intimate with your lover. And you don't get that very often. And no, there's just this absolute open arms acceptance. And I think creating that space is, I think what we're talking about tonight is not necessarily just in your bedroom, but it can be in another space, which CasaKink or, you know, Fetish Haven or wherever it is that you are, creating those spaces where you can just be with your partner.
So tonight's episode obviously is called Red Room Raunchiness, and when I thought of this episode, yeah, I mean, when I thought of this episode, I had in mind, and everybody says like, if you want to be talking about BDSM, don't be going to refer to 50 Shades of Grey. But I'm gonna be that person. Okay, for my vanilla listeners, I'm gonna be that person, and I'm gonna say some vanilla listeners want to experience kink. Okay, they want to have the bells and whistles. They want to have this amazing space where they can go to play. But they've maybe got their mom and their dad and their cousins friends and their cousins' kids and their sisters and their neighbors coming in and out of their homes, okay?
Damn, well, that's
Visiting and whatnot.
keeping it in the family.
Visiting, Red, visiting.
Whoa.
Okay, and I don't necessarily want everybody to know that they've got a red room right in their house. So I wanna like engulf myself in a learning experience this evening with the two of you ladies. Okay, I want to know, am I going to make my bedroom the red room? Am I going to take a spare room and make it the red room? Which room, realistically speaking, are we going to be converting? Obviously, if I've got people coming over to stay and I need to hide this red room, if they're going to be staying in the guest room, what do I do? How do I do this? And also, how do I hide the fact that there's bolts in my wall? I've still got bolts. I've still got like spaces in the back of my bed where my boss is and I can't hide them. They're too low. No paintings over there. So Nita, how do we start? And also, a little bit later on, I want to know about what furniture I need. When we spoke earlier, you said that you've got this nice little table that you can just flip upside down. I want to know about these things. I want to learn. Teach me. Okay. I'm teachable.
I think you really need to start with, what do you want this room to do for you? Is it actually just a really quiet space you and your partner or partners escape to have sex or sleep? Because let's be realistic, parents, sleep sometimes is more important, but the quiet part is what we're aiming for. Or the next person going, well, actually, we've got a great bedroom, but what we need is somewhere we can host swingers parties of up to 8-10 people on a regular basis. Or, no, we're into golden showers and we need a waterproof space we can play. You really need to start with, what's it about for you? If you're going to flog, you need a totally different kind of space. If you're going to flick a whip, you need even more space. And so you need to start with, like, what do I want this to be? And how much space have I actually got available? Because reality, for the vast majority of people, the space is their bedroom. That's what it is.
Yes.
And then I can just tell you that silky fabrics as part of your decor can hide a multitude of sins. Macrame and plants, those bolts you were concerned about, hang a plant on it there.
Hang a plant. Amen. Listen, I love you.
So those bolts and tie-down points and those things that look so obvious to us, we put some of those on our back wall back when we were hosting parties a lot. And they basically 4 cleats and a few hooks in the wall, and Papa, that's my husband, could, whip someone together using a couple of carabiners and cuffs or a hell of a lot of rope.
Yeah, he's creative.
He's super creative. And anyway, they've been there. We've never taken them down. And then, like, randomly, you try and put up a gazebo. And lo and behold, you know how useful those tie-down points are. And suddenly, the reason we put them in the wall was for tie-down points for the gazebos.
This is golden. This is
where there is a will, there is a way.
This is priceless. Only on kinky classes.
That's the thing with kinksters. If we have mastered perverting things. They even have this beautiful term called pervertibles, talking about the shit we do with the whip. And by that I mean the kind of hand whip that you would do your cream with in the kitchen. Cream with in the bedroom.
You're getting cream tonight, darling.
This is amazing.
Kingston's freaky, but to come to the table that you talked about, we went to Africa Burn in 2017, and it was a really last minute experience.
Oh, I want to go so badly.
Next
I
year,
started
girl.
seeing a guy, and he was going, and so I had to go, and I had to drag my husband. You know how it goes. We're polyamorous, and so. We went at 2 weeks' notice, and we got involved in the crew of what was then the Sex X camp. It's been disbanded, sadly. But and we knew we needed some like dungeon furniture, like in a hurry, to take with us. But it needed to be pretty rugged and be willing to take a hell of a beating. And my husband took a table and built an add-on. That's all I can call it. It's an add-on, but it basically slips into place if you turn the table onto its head. So the flat bit is on the floor, and the feet are standing up, and the cross pieces of it, and you just slip this add-on into place.
You have me in stitches, Nita.
And this add-on is a pillory. It's perfectly padded with red leather, and but it's on an upside down table. And it's so tacky, but we can't part
Does
with
the job.
And so because that had a slip on, you just take the slip off bit off and you use it as a table till you want to turn it upside down.
I'm finished.
I'm sorry. I have a very vivid imagination, so like anybody else out there, I'm finished tonight. Slip on, slip off, upside down.
This is absolutely prize winning, because it just goes to show that you can really convert anything into furniture within your play space. It's all you are going to be confined to the imagination space of your mind, right?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, just a chair, a very ordinary armless chair. I'll get to the ultimate of what you do with it. But just as a starter, it's a restraint point. You can tie someone to a chair, you know, and that you can put in any bedroom.
Yes.
Any bedroom can take a chair, and suddenly you've got one hell of a kinky piece of furniture there.
Yeah.
But what you really want to do is you want that chair to have a solid wooden seat, and drill out a circle just big enough for the head of a wand. And you plug your wand in from underneath so that it's sitting through the seat. Basically, if you just tilted your hips right, the wand would get your clit and all the delicious clit exterior bits. And you just make a cushion for the chair.
I make the same sounds.
Yeah, you just make a cushion for the chair so that the hole isn't obvious. Except
This
when
isn't
you put
educational.
wand
This
into
isn't educational podcast tonight. This isn't educational.
I'm being educated. I'm being educated. Also, I'm slipping off my seat just thinking about it. This is exciting me. God.
It really is. It really is. There's so many simple things that you can take. You know, you can go to places like Olivia Gray and whatever, and you can go and buy restraints that you can literally. I love Olivia Gray. They've got such amazing things. You literally can pop them on the ends of your bed, and you've got a 4-poster kind of restraint bed with handcuffs and restraints and chains, and that whole sort of bondage thing comes in. And you know what? Guests come to visit, you kind of slip it under the mattress and nobody ever knows that it's there. And go, you want to set up your sex room and you don't have a proper, dedicated area. But start looking at each other and go with textiles and touches and feels. And like, oh, this feels good against me, whether it's silk, whether it's fur, whether it's feathers, whatever, and start incorporating that into your bedroom and make it look like a hotel room. Nobody else they're going to walk and go like, oh, moi, darling, wherever did you get this, this designer? So turn it into something that is not just a bedroom, but a boudoir. And make it known that when people come into your home, and if you have children in your home, that this is a sacred space. It is a special space. And you don't get to come and jump on the bed. Because what happens between you and your partner, which regardless of which relationship you're in, whether it is gay, bisexual, homosexual, heterosexual, that's not the issue. The issue is that you are in a relationship, and whether it's polyamorous and you have more than 3 or 4 people in that relationship, that those dynamics are adhered to and seen to, and that everybody is seen to. And How to Design a Sex Room on Netflix, go and watch it. It's a brilliant introduction on how to actually design this room and take everybody's tastes and feels and incorporate that into a room. And so when people do come around, go like, wow, that's an incredibly awesome room. It doesn't have to be out there and in your face, but between you and your partner or partners, it is something that is incredibly meaningful, and you know what it means. And that's what matters.
I haven't seen that.
Second that endorsement. I did watch it, the entire series, twice during the making of the downstairs room. So yes, I think what is so important about that show is it is so diverse in the types of people, the types of kinks, the types of spaces, and the ways that they meet that for each group of people. I mean, for me, the one that will always stand out is they did a polyamorous group. I think there was
I'm with
7,
you, my favorite.
of them, and the reason it stood out for me is one of them, or I assume some of them, were into golden showers, and they wanted to be able to have that capacity in their play space. And so that show is just phenomenal for having addressed such a variety of scenarios and people.
Yeah, I absolutely, I love the show. Please, everybody who's listening, do go and watch it. For me, the polyamorous room that they catered for 7 different people, all living together in this incredibly loving sexual relationship. What they did in that room, this designer, it was just so incredibly thoughtful and so tasteful on every single person. And I think you need to find what works for you, for each person. It's beautiful.
So I haven't watched it, but I'm definitely going to head on over to Netflix and watch it. Some of this evening after the episode. I want to watch this shit. This and Sex in Afrikaans. I haven't watched it. I can't believe it. I've got 3 sex shows. I know, I have to watch it. So we need to go to a slight commercial break. But when we come back, we're going to discuss designing your red room, the raunchiest red room you can imagine, a little bit more with our guest this evening, Nita from CasaKink. Are you ready to explore the depths of your desires? Discover a place where you can fantasize and your fantasies can come to life. Welcome to CasaKink, the ultimate destination for kink and BDSM enthusiasts. CasaKink is not just a venue, it's an experience. With 2 uniquely designed spaces, they offer a perfect setting for every kind of event, from intimate munches and educational workshops to thrilling play parties and unforgettable orgies. CasaKink has hosted over 150 events that cater for every level of experience and curiosity. Whether you're new to the scene or a seasoned explorer, CasaKink provides a safe, welcoming environment where you can fully immerse yourself in your passions. These spaces are fully kitted out with all the equipment and ambience that you need to create the perfect atmosphere for your play. At CasaKink, they understand that exploring your sexuality can bring up questions and emotions. Nita, our guest this evening, is a skilled and experienced sexuality coach and counselor. Nita offers personalized support and guidance for everyone on the sex positivity spectrum, from LGBTQIA individuals to those in non-monogamous relationships. Her goal is focused and compassionate approach to ensure that you have the support you need to navigate your journey. Take the next step. Join them at CasaKink, where your fantasies become a reality. Visit their website at www.casakink.com to learn more about their up-and-coming events. Book the spaces and/or book a session with Nita herself. CasaKink. Unleash your desires, explore your fantasies, and find your community. They can't wait to welcome you.
got a secret underneath. Yeah, she's this naughty little freak. She likes to put on a show. She likes when he takes control. Yeah, he gon' make her legs shake. They gon' make the bed break. They gon' get into some trouble. Little danger they both crave when they put on a show. She likes when he takes control. And she a little baddie with a natty little figure. She gon' call him daddy when he's hitting all the triggers. She know how to move when she loose off the liquor. What a view tattoo, she a mood, she a giver. She know how to lay it down, get a little freaky. She don't like just anybody, but with them she's easy. He know how to give her what she wants, what she's needing. He know how to hit the right spots when he's leading. He on the attack, got her eyes rolling back when he lifting her, flipping her, tighten the stress when he's training his baby. Cause she been a brat, heavy breathing, inclined. He love the feedback, yeah. They like to get nasty, whether in the bedroom or the backseat. Like a drug, they be hooked, need it badly. She's got a secret underneath. Yeah, she's this naughty little freak. She likes to put on a show. She likes when he takes control. Yeah, he gon' make her legs shake. They gon' make the bed break. They gon' get into some trouble. Little danger they both crave when they put on a show. She likes when he takes control. She got dark eyes and a dark mind. She been up to no good as a part-time. She got a unique look in the starlight. She could drain a bank account, she play the cards right. But she only got eyes for him. Yeah, he's a lucky man cause she a dime at 10. She know how to keep him coming back time again. Cause she a loyal little freak, it's hard to find them. She know how to drop low with it, to the flow with it. She been taking classes on the pole with it. I just like when she puts on a show with this. So go slow with it, yeah, go slow with it. She got tricks that you've never seen. Good God, body fixed in my memory. She been doing things that should be a felony. She's got a secret underneath. Yeah, she's this naughty little freak. She likes to put on a show. She likes when he takes control. Yeah, he gon' make her legs shake. They gon' make the bed break. They gon' get into some trouble. Little danger they both crave when they put on a show. She likes when he takes control.
Sometimes we're looking for the more, but we just don't know what the more is. And then we come to play with me. 3 words, like me, play, toys, fun, games, cheekiness, with, intimacy, connection, relationships, and finally me. It starts with self, and that is something that Play With Me stands for. Play With Me is a place where you have an experience of all of those things. One complete cycle. You're welcome to pop in at our shop at the Gantry in Fourways, or find us at www.playwithme.co.za. If you're looking for that more, please get in touch.
Welcome back, Lustfuls. You are listening to episode 3 in season 2 of Kinky Classes. We are joined by the infamous Nita from CasaKink this evening on a very special episode called Red Room Raunchiness. Are you ready to explore the depths of your desires? Discover a place where your fantasies can come to life. Welcome to CasaKink. the ultimate destination for kink and BDSM enthusiasts. CasaKink is not just a venue, it's an experience. With 2 uniquely designed spaces, CasaKink offers the perfect setting for every kind of event, from intimate munches to educational workshops to thrilling play parties and unforgettable orgies. CasaKink has hosted over 150 events that cater for every level of experience and curiosity. Whether you're new to the scene or a seasoned explorer, CasaKink provides a safe, welcoming environment where you can fully immerse yourself in passion. Their spaces are fully kitted out with all the equipment and ambience you need to create the perfect atmosphere for your play. At CasaKink, we understand that exploring your sexuality can bring up questions and emotions. Nita is a skilled and experienced sexuality coach and counselor. Nita offers personalized support and guidance for everyone in the sex positivity spectrum, from your LGBTQIA individuals to anybody and everybody in a non-monogamous relationship. Her goal is focused and compassionate approach, ensures that you have the support you need to navigate your journey. Ready to take the next step? Join CasaKink, where your fantasies can become your reality. Visit the website at www.casakink.com to learn and explore more about the up-and-coming events, book spaces, and/or book a session with Nita herself. CasaKink, unleash your desires, explore your fantasies, and find your community. We can't wait to welcome you. Welcome back, Nita. Welcome back, Red. Thank you so much for bearing with us during this short commercial break. I hope you guys had a quick refill of your water bottles, because here we've practiced safe, sane, sober, and consensual kink. Right, Red?
Oh, hell yeah. Oh, hell yeah. You can go and drink after the podcast, after the play. And not
After
before.
play, not during. So this evening we're talking
not
about
before.
Red Room. Not before, yes. Because otherwise you're not going to remember everything we're teaching you guys. So what's the point, right? So this evening we are going to teach you guys, we're teaching you guys how to set up your play space. And just before the commercial break, I hope I'm pronouncing this name right, Darnishka. Darnishka asked a question. And Nita, Darnishka wants to know, what would be an adequate budget to begin a dungeon? But also my first thought that springs to mind is, how long is a piece of string? Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's
I
talk about
think
this.
The important thing is that you can set up a working level of play space, let's call it, on very little. You can, if you had a spare room, throw a mattress down in the corner, put some bolts in the walls, put a box in it, because you need somewhere to store your things. It's something we haven't talked about yet, but it's, especially if you're wanting to keep your space a little bit private or secret, somewhere to lock your toys without having to cart them around is really useful. But you don't need very much to create something. And I think that is a really important thing to remember. Your grand vision might be that we're going to have that bed she mentioned with the pillory in the bottom and the page underneath. And sure, that's what we want.
I'm salivating for that.
Look, the thing is, the reality is a wooden version of that is not horrendously expensive. Your mattress is going to cost you as much as the wood will, Plus there's, things that need to be put on it, like tie-down hooks, and those are surprisingly expensive, quality ones, because you need to think about, what are you doing? Am I into tying up my partner so that they feel restricted, or am I up to tying up my partner and hanging them from the ceiling? If you're going to hang them from the ceiling, you need a very special kind of raw bolts into that ceiling. Even your ceiling needs to be a certain kind of ceiling. I don't know anything about it, But
cement normally works.
Something like
I'm
that.
looking up at my roof now, going, "This isn't going to work."
So, and that's it. It's like, what are you working with? And I honestly think that a mattress with another mattress over time put on top of it and another mattress on top of that creates a cuddle puddle that you can invite your friends who aren't ready for the orgy around but are ready to cuddle with you. And all you're doing is you're hanging on a
Love
mattress in a
that.
corner.
Yeah.
And that leads people to a place where they feel much more comfortable out engaging in touch. There is a wonderful organization in Cape Town, I'm just touting everyone here, called And Maybe Make Out. And what they run is a party that's got a great vibe and a heavy sense of safety. And the
Yes.
focus is on maybe we'll make out. It's no heavier pressure than that. And the reviews, have you been, Red? The reviews
No,
are
I haven't. I
amazing.
haven't been, but I have heard about it, and I do endorse it.
Yeah, I've had
Yeah.
amazing feedback on it. I also, unfortunately, have not made time.
Yeah.
But if you're wanting to create that in your own home, it literally takes a mattress will seat 4. They're not going to be able to have sex on it. So add another mattress, if it's double size, for example, and 4 people can have sex on that. You've just started your orgy room. And all you needed was a sheet, some pillows, and 2 cheap mattresses. And you can buy those very cheap in Chinatown.
Yeah.
Really cheap.
So I had a thought, right? Okay, let's also, guys, just remember the mattress protectors. If you're gonna continue hosting, let's just, guys.
Thank you.
You can order that stuff online.
Yeah, let's
They're
just,
replaceable.
mattress protectors are a fucking must. I'm sorry, but I just had a thought,
Absolutely.
right? So before the break, I just I had to pinch myself to remind myself. So when I was setting up my studio at home, I had to create a studio that was essentially soundproof because my neighbors, okay, I mean my neighbors are loud, and you know how
Into
easy it was.
education.
I'm dying to hear how easy it was because we've not fully solved our problem on sound.
So it's really it's so easy. Look, you can go super expensive or you can go really cheap. So you can essentially soundproof your room by using cartons of egg trays. Okay,
Yes.
stick them up against the wall. This we all know. Alternatively, on places like Thimby and Wish, and even Sheen, you get those spongy
Yes.
inserts that you put. And I mean, the production manager sent me a screenshot the other day. Medusa sent me a screenshot the other day, where you had like a square meter of these things for something ridiculous like 35 Rand. That's not too expensive. The problem with soundproofing a space, right, comes in with your door and your windows. That's where the sound escapes. So I found a really simple and really easy and affordable way to get past this. So for the windows, I don't know if anybody knew this or if any of the listeners know this, but you actually get something. As you know, you get the blockout curtains that blocks out the sun. You get a blockout sound curtain as well.
You do.
Which is for me, it has helped so much. Look, those are pretty pricey, but before I got the blockout sound curtains, right, what I did was I took those plastic blinds, you know, the ones that kind of twirl, you have a little around it. So I took that and I took blockout curtains, my normal blockout curtains, and those two combined with the windows closed, the blinds and the blockout curtains, I could hear nothing from coming out. And I mean, my mic is pretty sensitive to sound. Anything, I mean, I'm just tapping on and my mic isn't even loud and people can hear that. So just imagine if people had to speak outside my window, it would be very noticeable on air. And I haven't had any problems. Now, what you can do if you get these blockout curtains, you put those curtains, you put a rail up in front of your door, and you hang those curtains in front of your door. Problem solved. So for sound barrier, that is perfect.
So for the door to downstairs was quite a challenge for us. That spongy foam stuff comes in a sticky back version. like
yes.
a tape. You can buy meters of it.
Yes.
And we used that to soundproof literally the door gaps inside the door. And then we've got a curtain on the inside of the door, which just makes the room look nicer as well. And a room on the outside of the door on our side of it. And that's done a really great internal job.
Wonderful.
In summer, people open the windows and then
Yeah, look, there's no getting past that. There's no getting past that.
The other option
soundproofing
is
important.
So the other option is to wait until your children leave home and they're at their age. Or in my case, sharing is caring, and I'm like, it doesn't matter what time of the night, day, or evening it is. I'm like, hello, good morning, good evening, never, never, Neverland. So.
I think you actually mentioned something earlier about the kids, and that is that how incredibly powerful having our own sex room has been for our sex life. Because, in part, the space is rented out. It's an Airbnb type space. But the people coming there are coming there to have sex. And so it's been really important that our kids understand this is an Airbnb. When people go to an Airbnb, they have sex. Because you don't want kids thinking something weird is happening behind that door. But it's also, it's kept them away. They don't want to know about sex, not of people who are old.
I totally, but it is so important. I totally agree with you, Nita. When growing up, I was always taught, when mom and dad's door was closed, we heard a lot of things. But you know what? We grew up knowing one thing. Mom and dad's door was closed, and that meant it was mom and dad's alone time. And that was a special time, regardless of what was going on behind the door. We didn't need to understand it. But we also knew hearing mom and dad laugh and hearing mom and dad and again, I'm going to take it away from mom and dad, partners, because we have so many different gender diversities,
relationships.
So let's go partners. When partners are in a relationship and there are other people in the household, it doesn't necessarily have to be children, that when a door closes on a bedroom specifically, that is a sacred place where 2 or 3 or 4 people or a group go to, that is and it must be respected. It needs to be honored and treated as a sacred space, regardless if there are 7 people, 2 people, or 1 person in that room. That space is treated as sacred space, and I think it's very, very important. It doesn't matter whether it's Technicolor, polka dots, or it's completely nothing in the room at all. That is irrelevant. It's about what's going on in that room for that person or those people at that specific time, and I think that is what makes it Red's room. Ooh, gosh, I'm going to be in a lot of rooms tonight. I'm a coming, babies. I'm a coming.
The other thing that I wanted to mention, that I also had to pinch myself on, was to remind myself to bring up this evening, was something as and in the King community, everybody knows what a St. Jacob's cross is, right? That's that gorgeous cross. Oh, St. Andrew's cross. Sorry, yeah, there we go. St. Andrew's cross. That's that gorgeous cross with the padding and the bolts and the yes. So, Nita, for all intents and purposes, if I didn't have something like that and I wanted to set up a red room, could I not do this against the wall?
You absolutely can.
Yes.
You really, it depends. Everyone's response on the cross is driven by something different.
Okay.
For me, I quite like standing against a wall and not moving without being restrained. That is a sign of my submission to do that. For someone else, they're really turned on by being restrained. That is what does it for. And a million other options. And so what you want in your room will be determined by what works for you.
What works for me.
But literally, you can just put eye bolts into your walls. And I'm serious about hanging your macrame pot plants off them.
Yes.
Put your eye bolts in, and a bit of rope tied to the eye bolts will be all you need, and that's variable in the heights. You know, if your shoulders get injured, or sorry, I'm of a certain age. We talk about our shoulders, but it's sorry, can't give you a blowjob. My shoulders. Oh, sorry.
That's fantastic. I'm going to use that excuse next time.
So you can just stand there if that does it for you.
Yes.
But you can just make holes in the wall that you put eye bolts into, that you can tie whatever to. We have in our downstairs space, because one of the biggest things of a proper St. Andrew's cross, none of ours are padded, by the way. So they're all very different. But our downstairs one, we didn't have a lot of space for it, but we still wanted the iconic symbolism in there. And we have made a cross that is bolted to the wall. It doesn't stand more than 2 inches or 3, let's call it 3 inches away from the wall at any point. And it just looks like if you had to create your spare room and you wanted to put something like that on the wall, I'm going to come back to the pot plants. You can hang them off there to disguise it. Very few people are going to see what a kinkster sees.
I totally get what you're saying, Nita, because I was about to say the exact same thing. Is, if you really want that sort of symbolism, and I've seen that done as well, is, 2 pieces of wood bolted to the wall. It's just a strong, when you look at it, it's a vertical plank. 2 vertical planks, okay, that have pot plants hanging on it. You wouldn't think anything else of that. But you take those pot plants off, and it's got a little mechanism that you kind of, it kind of twists to the one side, it extends to the one side, and you now suddenly have your St. Andrew's cross. Nobody would ever know. And it doesn't need to take up a lot of space. It really, really doesn't. And, nobody else would think anything of it, except like, oh, wow, that's a really rustic new way of hanging your plants. So I totally get what Nita says. There's so many different ways to spanking benches and milking benches and so many different things that you can that look at pieces of furniture. They look just like pieces of furniture, but to the trained eye, well, no, darlings.
Well, no. So I've got 2 questions. I've got 2 questions. Firstly, if you've got this cross pinned up against your wall, for all intents and purposes, I could possibly move my bed against it as well, and that could just look like a headpiece, right?
Absolutely.
And then also still hang my pot plants off of it. Okay, so that's I'm definitely going to try. My next question is, what the hell is...
See it with fairy lights.
Fairy lights. Yes, I love me a fairy lights. Everybody knows I love bling. My next question is, what the fuck is a milking bench? I'll think of a spanking bench, baby. I want to know what a milking bench is and what makes it different from a spanking bench. Yes, I listen, Red.
Oh my goodness, if I could put this on air with my partner lying next to me right now, wanting to be milked.
Let's hear it. I want to know.
Okay, so it's basically a device where you would restrain, or you didn't necessarily have to restrain, but you would literally engage with your partner, specifically a man, and make him come. So you're going to milk him that way, either through his penis, or you could do it through his prostate gland as well. So either way, but that is basically what it is. It's like milking a cow, but you're milking a man.
See, I thought this had something to do with boobs, and I'm thinking no.
That's a whole different fetish.
Yeah, that's a whole different bench altogether.
Then you need to find place for your breast pumps.
So
I'm swallowing my mic.
Talk about perversible.
Your milking bench is going to do with milking your man. And you know what? We can all laugh about it, but you know what? That's where a man's G-spot is, just like our clitoris is our G-spot on a woman. A man's G-spot is, in his
rectum.
Anus,
Yes.
and it's that. There we go. So getting over that, I think a lot of straight men go like, My goodness, don't go there. I'm not gay. I'm not. It's got nothing to do with that. It's got
Uranus,
to do with
Uranus, get comfortable with your anus.
It's got to do with understanding your body and understanding how it functions and what are the erogenous, places on that part, and to have it stimulated. You think about it, men who are listening, and I'm talking from a professional point now, and I think Nita might agree with me. If you have your prostate stimulated, and at the same time you have an erection, you're having a double orgasm at the same time. Maybe think about that.
Mic drop. Boom.
Oh yeah.
Okay. One last thing that I wanted to ask before we got to start ending the show. Nita, if I had something like a spanking bench that I wanted to, oh yes, and I quickly want to talk about, I heard the weirdest term the other day. I think it's called a queening bench.
Yes.
Or a queening. What is this? What is this thing? Can somebody please? I just
Red's
see
gonna
like
talk about it.
the most excitement. What is this thing? And do I need one? Do I want one?
Yes. Any chair will do.
First of all hail Majesty.
Let's hear. What is it? Am I pronouncing it right? A queening bench or queening chair?
A throne. Queening chair, throne.
Okay.
Queening chair.
What is this fuckery? Tell me. Educate me.
No, Red, I'm going to hand over to the expert.
Red, let's hear it. What is this that was?
Okay. A queening chair, one of my favorites. So it's a throne that a dominatrix, more than likely a female dom, would sit on. And there's normally a piece that comes out at the bottom, basically your sub, your slave, your partner would go underneath and orally please you. And yes, I know. It's divine. I know. It's one of those wonderful, wonderful.
Is this something I can hide in my red room? Can I hide it adequately, Nita?
Absolutely. It can be any kind of chair. It doesn't have to be this
It's just got to have a removable piece. Any handyman can make one for you.
Absolutely. And
the big
all
things
about
you need to consider is the width of it.
Anita, we've lost you. Your screen's gone off.
No, it hadn't. Can you hear me?
Oh, there we go. You're back. Yes, you're back.
So there's a local dungeon in Cape Town, mini dungeon, that has one. The biggest challenge with it is if you are more than a slip of a man, you're not going to get in there. So, for example, my husband is 6'4" and wide. He's a big guy. His shoulders couldn't fit in underneath to get him close enough. And once he had managed to wedge himself in, really breathe.
It wasn't it?
So using your standard chair is going to have a very minimal width. So you need to think about the person that's going to service you, and then you're good to go. It's not a complex piece of equipment to make. The best use of one of those I ever saw happened at my first kink party, which was a greedy women's party. So the women were fully in charge.
I'm loving this.
The femme in this couple sat in the queening chair, but only after she had tied some rope very nicely around his nuts. And the rope basically fed through the top of the queening chair from behind her where his balls were, and she tugged on the rope as it landed, came through to her. She would tug on it to express her satisfaction or dissatisfaction with the service she was receiving.
Wow, this can really be kinky. Listen,
it's phenomenal. It is a phenomenal piece of equipment, and it really is a really femdom, female supremacy piece of equipment. It doesn't mean that you have to be this, this domina out there, but it is definitely about taking control of your pleasure and been serviced in every way that you want to be. And if it doesn't go your way, well, there's certain ways you can tie that person up and punish them.
Listen, slipping off my chair, yeah.
Throne,
Pun
darling,
intended.
thrones. Queening chairs.
Then the other thing that I wanted to ask is if I had, I'm getting a little bit of feedback. There we go, it's gone. The other thing that I wanted to ask is if I had a spanking bench, could this double up as possibly a table in the room? Could I hide it as a table? How are they set up? Is this even possible? What could we find a thing around? Because that's something that's possibly semi general to have, right?
The nearest perversion I've managed to come up with in that space, because I agree with you, there's a couple of powers in depending on the style of spanking bench you go for. It's a really lovely tool. And one of the perversions that has crossed my mind on repeat is, a table legs from a trestle table.
Yes.
They fold up flat and you open them out.
Yes.
Now, I think we can design, without too much complexity, a collapsible version like that.
Yes.
Then, once you've got it flat, the things you can do to disguise it become possible. But in its current state, it's big. It's a big piece. We had one standing in our lounge for years. My kids thought it was a weird bench.
I had no idea.
It's never occurred to them because it's been in their eyesight always, But they used to sit on it. They liked it because it was extra high. Yeah. I think a good craftsman or carpenter, you go to him with the concept, like I want something that does this. A good one will figure it out for you.
Yeah.
We've had the blessing of my husband, who's great, but his dad is even better. And so when he made our spanking bench, you got to love this. How weird is this? When he made our spanking bench, Chris made sure that he understood why it needed to be a certain height, because that was, when I was lying on it, the height my pussy would be at, and also the height my mouth would be at. My father-in-law knew this when making the spanking bench.
This is prize-winning stuff. Absolutely prize-winning stuff. I love it. Let's go to Red. Red, is there anything else that you want to add or bring up this evening before I end the show?
You know what? I think that whatever you, first of all, go and find out what it is that you're really into. And, there are so many different ways to make this happen and make it fun and make it kinky without it being this stereotype. And, there's so many different ways. I've seen people who own horses who put their saddles on their spanking bench. Well, hello.
Nita's going, yes. Do it.
Well, saddles need a place to rest too. Be creative, be fun, and most importantly about it, if you're doing it as a couple or as a group or whatever the dynamics are in those relationships, is to have fun in it, communicate, talk about it, explore it. It might not work, and go this is our style in our home, and go, oh yeah, okay, whoa, I never thought about it that way. That could be different. That's interesting, and explore that. Go for it. Have fun. It's supposed to be fun.
Love that. Nita, anything from you? Any closing comments from you?
It's about pleasure. Stop and think about where you are going to get your pleasure. You and your partners, playmates, people you're going to host parties for, whatever. Who are you designing it for? How are you going to get your pleasure? Is this room going to give you access to pleasure? Do it.
Yes.
Love that. And if you guys, listeners, if you guys can't do it in your own Cape Town, head on over to CasaKink. Go and visit Nita. Go and have a chat with her. Go and have a coffee, and just go and learn and go and explore the play space before you even set up yours. Go and explore the play space. This has been, listen, lustful listeners, all 2,200 of you. Gosh, listen, what an amazing episode. And you guys have really been fantastic. I can see some chatter going on the Podbean app. For those of you listening from other devices, you guys are more than welcome to come and join us on the Podbean app so that you can interact with the guests and myself and the co-hosts on all subsequent shows. This evening we had Nita from CasaKink Cape Town joining us. It's been amazing. I really had the most amounts of fun. Nita is a sexuality coach and a counselor and runs CasaKink Cape Town. CasaKink hosts weekly educational, social and play nights on a Thursday and a monthly play party. You can rent out both the dungeon and the smaller downstairs mini dungeons for private use or host your own event. Nita has hosted over 160 open community learning, social and play events for the kink community. She's passionate about sexual and body positivity and most of all building villages of support. Thank you very, very much, Nita, for your invaluable input this evening and for making this episode a heap of fun. It's really been a pleasure having you, and I hope you'll come and join us again in season 3 of I nearly said Lola's Lessons. Lola's Lessons spin-off, Kinky Classes, with myself and Baronista. Well, listen, listeners, what is to come in this week? On Wednesday night, Lifestyle Lectures, your poly and swingers show. Come and join us for Signs, Symbols and Secrets of Swingers. It's going to be myself and Mr. Twosome. It's going to be a heap of fun because Dr. M, our resident doctor, will be joining us live on air. Come and learn what the upside down pineapple stands for. Like, where does it even come from? Are you going to be, no, listen, okay, come and learn, because that's going to be a hoot. Friday nights on Lola's Lessons, your sex positivity show and sex education and guide. We are going to look, Friday nights, if you guys missed last night's episode, you got to go listen to the replay. It was a riot, an absolute riot. We had Dirty Don on air with us for the lollipop lesson. Guys, it was right. Go listen to the replay. This coming week, however, Friday night, 9 o'clock, we've got the Erotic Evolution. We're going to be talking about erotica and what that has done to today's societal impact on sex and body positivity. What do we learn from having erotica in our lives? Next week on Kinky Classes, we are doing Kitting Out for Classy Kink. This is going to be what toys, babies, do you need in your arsenal of the toy box? It's going to be amazing. We've got Queen Ananas joining us live on air. Listen, she's a character in herself, right? And I mean, you guys don't want to be missing that. And that is it for this coming week on the Lola Blakely production season 4 shows. Reid, have you had fun this evening? Because I have really learnt a lot. Honestly, this has been an educational show.
This has been exactly what I needed for my week.
Oh,
it's been amazing. I've loved it. And as always, Nita is just an incredible, incredible pillar in the community. Her and Papa.
I love that for us. Thank you.
Yeah, I know. Amazing. They've done a lot of work, and I would highly recommend, if you're new and you're trying things out, please go and see them. Go and see CasaKink. You're in very, very good, safe hands.
That's it. Reid, but you've also got a show coming up this week, don't you?
I've got a show coming up on the 8th of June. It's called Eat Your Heart Out at Curious George, the Pink Room.
I'm feeling this. Oh yes. Oh yes.
So if you want
Listen, we got to dance together one day. Oh gosh, love it. Listen, I've got an amazing co-host, and this evening has been an absolute jewel on air this evening. Thank you so much to all of you 2,200 live listeners. It's been such a fantastic, fabulous evening. To the lots of you, we love you loads. We'll see you again on Wednesday night or next week, same time, same place. Don't be late and stay kinky, babies.
Love you, Lola.
Cheers.